Good morning, welcome to Carnivore Expeditions. I'm in South Dakota this week. I'm going to be checking off another state high point, Black Elk Peak, 7,244 feet above sea level. I'm at the Lost Cabin Trail, got here just before daybreak, having a little breakfast here in the parking lot before I hit the trail. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. It rained really hard last night, so the trail is muddy in spots. I should have wore my hiking boots instead of my Ultra shoes today. Definitely probably could have used some gaiters, picking up a few rocks. I'm not complaining, that's just part of the experience, and the beauty makes up for whatever comforts I might lose. There are three main reasons that I chose to take this particular trail up to the summit of Black Elk Peak. The number one reason is I really wanted some solitude today. Most people who hike to the summit of Black Elk Peak, they come in from the other side of the mountain, which is Custer State Park. It's a beautiful state park, but that's where all the crowds go. It's a shorter hike if you go from Custer State Park, a much less strenuous trail. But I just wanted to unplug and to get away from the crowds and to take the path less traveled. And I have not encountered the first person so far today, and it's been about 2 miles, 12 miles to go. Custer State Park charges, I believe, $20 or $25 per vehicle. And I'm not a cheapskate, but I decided to park on the National Forest property. I like that trailhead better anyway. Plus I get to avoid the crowds and save a little money. The second reason that I chose to take the Lost Cabin Trail, which is more difficult, it just relates to my personal high pointing philosophy. You may have heard me speak about this in some of my prior videos, but I always try to earn the high point. I know that at least half of the high points, you can just drive to them, open your car door, step out and touch the monument, and jump back in your car and go to the next one. But I try to make each high point challenging. I just don't feel right if I drive up to Mount Mitchell, North Carolina, I step out of my car and touch the monument or Brasstown Bald or some of the other ones. I always try to look for a trailhead at the base of the mountain where I can actually start at the base or close to the base and earn the high point, get as much elevation as I can. So if you're a high pointer, I would challenge you to don't just do these drive-by checkoffs. Do a little research and try to earn each one of your high points. I think it's a more rewarding experience, and you'll really have something that you can look back on and be proud of. The third reason that I chose this more difficult trail was for training purposes. Each summer I try to do one of the more difficult high points. In 2023, I successfully made it up Mount Rainier in Washington without a guide service. I hope that I can do 48, or I should say I hope that I can do 49 of the 50 high points without a guide service. I may have to give in and do a guide service for Mount McKinley, or do they call it Denali? I think the name changed. I think it's Mount McKinley now. That's the only one that I may give in and do a guide service, but I hope to train and do my own research and make it up the other 49 state high points on my own power and with my own research and ingenuity. There's nothing wrong if you don't do that. That's just my personal philosophy, how I'm wired. I almost made it up Gannett Peak summer of 2024 last year, and I made it about 500 feet from the summit. And if you would like to see what went wrong, I will link that video to the end of this one. But Gannett Peak is one of the top contenders for me to do it again this summer, or attempt it again. I think I may do it this year because it's fresh on my mind. I know the route. I know what went wrong last year, and I can make the corrections, hopefully have a successful summit. But that's the third reason that I'm taking this more difficult route, just for training purposes. Okay, getting into some fog, getting a little bit higher up in the mountains, and there's still some morning fog which hasn't burned off yet. I hope it burns off. I'm at about 7,100 feet. I'm at one of the overlooks, but there's still a lot of fog. It's also getting windy, so I hope the wind will blow out some of this fog. A little bit chilly. I may put on some layers, but it's still an awesome hike. I do hope that I get a good view when I get to the top, but you know, sometimes that's just the way it goes. am over the 7-mile mark, and I have just passed my first group of hikers. I'm getting closer to Custer State Park, and I kind of figured I would run into more people the closer I got to the park, because it's a very popular park. I'm still not at the high point, even though I'm over the halfway point of my trip. It's a loop trail, and the high point is on the other side of the loop. But I'm getting close. All right, I'm at one of the overlooks just below Black Elk Peak. I'm going to turn the camera around. I don't know if you can see Black Elk Peak through the fog, but there it is. And I can hear some voices up there. So, getting close. I am over the 12-mile mark, so I have about 2 miles to go, and the fog has completely burned off. It turned out to be a nice day. There are some dark clouds up to the north. There's a chance of a pop-up thunderstorm today, so hopefully I'll make it back to the truck before it starts. You may be able to see that hornet nest. There's a hornet nest up in that tree. Looks like it's an old hornet nest. I don't see any activity around it right now. I am almost back to the trailhead. I hear a generator, so I think that the Park Service must be doing some type of maintenance in the parking lot. But anyway, this has been a simply spectacular hike today. I was looking at my statistics, about 14.5 miles, a little over 7 hours, but that also includes at least 2 snack breaks and setting up some videos. So could probably have done this one in 6 hours if I had hustled, but I was just taking my time, enjoying being out here. I'm going to put my stats up on the screen somewhere. I think I did 2,900 feet of elevation gain. So if you're looking for a trail that takes you to the top of Black Elk Peak, South Dakota, and you want to get away from the crowds, and you're not afraid to do a trail that's a little bit difficult, I really recommend this one here. And it looks like I beat the rain. I may go try to see the Crazy Horse Monument if it doesn't start pouring down rain. But anyway, if you got anything out of this video, hit the like button. It really helps out our channel. And if you like outdoorsy videos, hit that subscribe button. I try to post new content every week, every other week. So thanks for watching. God bless you. Hope to see you on the trail.